and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semi-finals of Code for Giants Cup number 17. Hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OC as we have returned with the semi-finals. We have our fresh series, our fresh best of 3, our ZvT, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner we have our Zerg player. We have our red Zerg representing the CranKy Ducklings. He's one of our own. He is Erik. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the blue Terran representing the Platinum Heroes. It is INexorable. And you know what time it is. If you're in the chat, get your gambler going. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chat, as you can place your bets for the next minute or so. And again, this is going to be a wild one. This is a rematch from last edition's Code for Giants Cup, where they both faced off in the semifinals as well, and INexorable did take it. It was a 2-1, went all the way to the ace match. INexorable did claim the series, but now Erik, he is here ready for his revenge. Let's go, as he's going for a hatch into spawning pool before gas. Interesting. Going for a gasless opener, at least initially here, and we'll see where this does lead us. Most likely into roach play, into delayed link speed, of course, so roaches should be on the horizon here for Erik. We'll see how INexorable does open and how he does respond. So far, so good. As again, we are going to be settling in. It's great to be back once again though. It's been too long since I've casted Erik Bappy. Been far too long. As from here, now going into his gases. Again, these are later gases for Erik, so the chances of him skipping link speed is going to be higher. Not impossible. It's not impossible though, as again, Erik, he is a bit of a more unorthodox player. He does often come up with his own builds, with his own styles, with his own approach to the game. And often does dictate the meta as well, has done so in the past. Meanwhile, there it is. There is the Roach Warren. As I did mention, because of the delayed gas, did scream Roach play, and it is going to be a Roach-based opener. SCV Scout comes in, and INexorable, he will confirm the gas, the spawning pool, but he doesn't get further back behind the mineral line. The Reaper should confirm instead. As the Reaper dips in, gotta be forced back. So far, Erik, he does hold his own. There's no third expansion. That is because, or that is due to the Roach Warren. And we'll see if Erik commits, or if he just moves out with a handful of roaches and expands. That is most likely going to be the case here. That is typically how Erik does approach this. There are games where he does go for the all-in, but that is not going to be this game, as we have 3 roaches on the way. Meanwhile, INexorable across the map, going for his 3rd TC before Starport. Economic opener here out of our Terran player. And again, it's only 3 roaches. Only 3 roaches moving out across the map. And Erik will expand. So again, just a very light commitment into roaches. Reaper comes in, confirms the Roach Warren. INexorable now more aware of what's going on. He's going to be zoned back. Gets eyes on the saturation. Sees full saturation at the natural. 3rd base is on the way. And here come those roaches back at home. What is there to defend? Not much. There's going to be 2 Hellions just now popping out. And 1 Marine. Roaches, they can hold their own. They can shut down the Marine. The Marine is going to fall. Hellions as well. Ravager does morph in. And this is already getting a lot of damage here. It's going to be 2-3 SCV kills. Mule goes down. The Marine tonight mining here at the natural. Oh, that's going to be a kill, not a cancel on the bunker. And Erik, he's still not done. And remember, behind this, he's expanding and droning. Erik is just happily droning up. Trading well, getting 5 SCVs. He wants one of the Hellions. Oh, gets another worker. A bit of a miss rally there from INexorable. 1 Hellion goes down. Erik, he pulls away, can morph into Ravager, getting another Hellion. This is getting out of hand. This is getting far out of hand here. Takes out another Hellion. And looks like finally INexorable will clean this up. The final Ravager might just barely morph in. It's going to be close. Oh my god, barely gets denied. INexorable does hold. Overlord follow-up does confirm the timing of the 3rd CC and the Banshee production as well. Erik knows. And it's on Erik to prepare back at home. Queens are going to be amassing. Spores are going to be necessary. Or at least an Overseer. There we go. Spores are on the way. And the Banshee gets spotted. The Banshee does move out across the map. She does move out. Erik setting up. Spore is delayed though. Yeah, the Spore is late. Thankfully, there is no cloak. But the first Queen is going to fall. And massive pickup. Queen goes down. A drone's under fire. Second Queen has arrived. And the Banshee will get a second drone just barely. But the Banshee goes down. That was not worth it. 2 drones for a Banshee. Ay. Better trade for Erik. He holds. He holds. He defends. He takes a worker advantage. A worker lead. Again, just a very successful start. Going for that 3 roach move out. Getting so much done. And now Erik, he can drone. Bailey Nest on the way, so Erik is going to Ling Bane Roach Ravager. Very solid mid-game composition. 4th expansion on the way. And as you did mention, it should be Ling Bane Roach Ravager. Ling Speed finally being researched. Again, the Roaches were just merely an opener. And now he can spread his wings and embrace a more mid-game army. And INexorable, he has a lot of recovering to do. He's still redroning, resaturating, getting his 3rd base on location, working towards his eventual bio move out. He's got his 5 Raxes. Stim is about to finish up. And he will soon move out with his Medivacs. That's really what he's waiting for. He's waiting for the Medivacs. Once they arrive, he can move out. Until then, Erik, he has free reign, and he has gotten up to 3 base saturation. His 4th base is on the way, but no droning yet, no saturation yet here for the Zerg. Scan reveals the Infestation Pit. And Erik has a choice. He can either rush into Hive or get into Infestors beforehand. Infestors, they can be a very nice supportive unit here for Erik. With Fungals. For his Ling Bane. It's going to be the Hive. Okay, we're rushing into the Hive. INexorable is moving out. He does have his 2 Medivacs. Moving out with just his bio. Going for a drop play. Ooh. But Erik, he does meet up. Does keep up with the drops. Forcing it back. Diving on the Marines. Marines are falling. Too many Marine losses here for INexorable. Tanks, they do siege up. Erik, he backs up. Takes a big shot to the face. We'll lose 1 Roach. 1 Roach goes down. Infestors, they are morphing in. And Fungal is going to be available. That is going to deter any kind of committed move out. Now, as it settles, Erik, he does get up to 4 base saturation. He's got 81 drones now, a very healthy drone count. 5th base is on the way, just for Larva, just for now. 2 tools on the horizon as well. And Erik is, again, quite comfortably embracing a more longer game state. Scan reveals the Hive. From here, Erik can go into Ultras. Especially with these melee upgrades, Ultras would make the most sense, considering there are no range upgrades either. No setup for... I was going to say no setup for Hydra Lurker, but that's a Hydra Den, which means Erik, he is thinking about Lurkers. Never mind. Despite not having the upgrades for it. Fungal coming in. Oh! Does grace the army. No major connection. Does scare INexorable. INexorable does have a terrifying army, though. He's pushing in. Fungal will connect. Here come the Biles. Ooh, the Biles thought they crash in. Ooh, Baileys, they don't trade well, though. The tanks, they hold their own, and the Infestors go down, and Erik is in trouble. And before he can embrace Hive Tech, he's in a lot of trouble here. He has to fall back, and INexorable is coming in for the kill. Going straight for the third, straight for the 3rd. Despite the good stuff from Erik, he is barely holding on. Tanks are sieging up, forcing friendly fire. Biles, they take down one of the tanks, but the Marines, they overwhelm. Ooh, not enough Banelings. The Marines, they break through, and Erik, he has nothing left. Yeah, Erik, he has been broken. Again, he had a good economy, but he just had a really rough fight, really rough engage. Bled out far too much and did maybe take up too quickly. As Erik was lacking an army, the base is going to fall. The mineral line as well. And INexorable, he's snowballing out of control. He's just snowballing out of control from this point forward. 20 drone kills, hatchery. Erik going for a desperation move, going for a big link counterattack. He needs to get some kind of counter damage. He gets a handful of SCVs, but only a handful. Yeah, 3 SCV kills, that is not good enough. Drop into the main. Vipers, they can shut down the drops. Bailey's connect. Not bad. Erik, he's barely holding on, but he's already lost so much. As INexorable turns back around. Erik may have to chase this, but there's just too much on the ground. INexorable, he maintains that supply lead. He has a massive worker advantage. And the pressure's on Erik. Checking the 4CC. Erik, he hasn't confirmed it. Planetary isn't done yet, so we can get some SCVs. Likewise, diving on top of those Marines. Very nice catch. Get some Marines down the tank. Tank goes down as well. Bailey's roll in. Oh my god, the target firing though was brutal. Erik, he barely wins the fight. 4 SCV kills across the map. The planetary is now done. And Erik, he's going straight for the natural. He wants the tank. He wants it. Barely does get it. Tank goes down again. These are just desperation moves out of Erik, but he has to. Goes to the power bombs. Nice splits by INexorable. Yeah, boys are being pulled. Hydra's trickling in. But Erik, he doesn't have enough. Does take down 11 SCVs though. Erik is still in this. Morphin, more Banelings. Again, Erik, he's desperate, papi. He's pulling it off. Getting a lot of damage. Morlings building up. Now that the planetary is done, Erik, he can't really touch that base. But he can try to get on top of that tank once again. He can, and he will. Another tank goes down. And INexorable, he doesn't really have a backbone to the army. Yeah, purely Marines and Marauders. Erik, he pulls away, doesn't push up the ramp. Going for the mineral line, and he will get it. Oh, the SCVs! Oh, they do pull away. Banelings are not wasted on the SCVs. Some of them do. 17 SCVs go down. Erik, he's clawing his way back into this. Let's go. He's still in this. Takes down 17 SCVs, denies the third base. Erik takes a worker lead for the first time in a long time. He's up in workers, up in supply. Very impressive here, Erik. He was at death's door, 100%. Things were looking bleak for Erik. After joining up to 81, taking in towards lurkers. He was caught with his pants down, but Pappy, he was never wearing any pants. He's crazy. Lurkers are morphing in, 9 lurkers at a time. And with lurkers, that means Erik, he can actually push in towards the planetary. Planetary is now vulnerable. Erik, he rotates. INexorable, he's ready at the 3rd, not at the 4th. And the lurkers, they are rolling in. And they sneak up on the expansion. CC goes down, planetary goes down. A couple of Banelings were wasted on the planetary itself. And INexorable is not ready for lurkers. He has no ghost. He has no ghost. It's just Marine, Marauder, tank. INexorable is being outscaled. Erik rotating over. The Vipers are getting caught out. One Viper does fall, but what about the base? What about the expansion? Lurkers, they burrow in. Erik, he engages. Oh, no blinding cloud. Lurkers are trading well for themselves. The other Lurkers getting in position. Spine just going up, and Erik, he does maintain himself. He does hold. Has control of the ramp. Takes down 16 SCVs. And he's pushing in. Bold move out of Erik. He doesn't really have much support, though. Yeah, the spread is a little bit too good. Erik leading out most of those lurkers, but GG gets called is still good enough, and Erik, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. That was crazy. That was an intense game, but GG well played. Very back and forth. Again, INexorable did have a lead. He was up 20 SCVs. He was up on bases. He had a massive army. But Erik, time and time again, if you notice, he was sniping tanks. He was sniping tank after tank, picking off Marines here and there. He was able to just chip away at the army over time and eventually overwhelm. Oh my god. It's crazy. Sniping tanks, sniping Marines, getting into mineral lines. And despite Erik being behind, he clawed his way back in. Eventually got into the lurkers. GG. GG, well played. Whew. Again, never count Erik out. Now we're getting into game number 2. That was close, though. It was very close. Very close, Pappy. So here we go. So you can hear the beeps, and the next game is going to be on a much larger map. We're going to be loading into Abyssal Reef. we go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Abyssal Reef, we have the Brazilian Terran player, the Red Terran, representing the Platinum Heroes down in the series. But again, that was a very close game one. Could have gone either way. It is INexorable. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Brazilian Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing the CranKy Ducklings. He's one of our own. What does he stand for? He stands for endurance, righteousness, intellect, and kangaroo. It is Erik. The F in Erik stands for fear, papi. Let's go. As INexorable, he's had enough. That's not just one SCV, that is 2 SCVs. He's going for a proxy 2 racks. Let's go. Raxes are being placed. You can see Erik, he's scouting for a proxy. He does move out through the center of the map, but he doesn't quite check the left-hand side. So Erik is in the dark. Raxes are on the way. Only 2. So not the most committed proxy. So it should be proxy 2-Rax Marine with bunkers, and the goal here would be to take control of the natural. And Erik, he doesn't turn around with the Overlord. Doesn't turn around. Second Overlord is coming in. I mean, of course, he wouldn't turn around with the first Overlord. Second Overlord is coming in, and this Overlord should be parked here at the natural, which means Erik will get eyes on the SCVs as they come in to throw down the bunkers. So Erik, he should scout the bunkers. Once he sees them, he can pull the boys. He can pull the boys, he can try to fight for control of the bunkers, he can try and deny them, and defend from there. We'll see if he can. See if he can. So again, my apologies, I thought this first Overlord was the second one. But he will get eyes on the Marines, the SCVs, he now knows. Bunkers are on the way. I mean, of course he knows. Hatchery is now done. And the boys are being pulled. And again, the goal here is to either, one, surround the Marines and deny them, or surround the SCVs and deny the bunkers. And so far, the bunker gets cancelled. Oh, it's a rough start here for INexorable. Bunker being thrown down behind this. Queens are on the way. As the Queens pop out, I mean, that's going to be a hold. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, as the Queens have arrived, and Lings are amassing. Bunker's almost done. And Erik, he has to commit. More boys being pulled. Bunker should be denied. Yeah, the SCV goes down. There's 1 SCV left. And with 2 Queens, Erik holds. Erik, he holds on. He should have forced a cancel, and Erik is in a very strong position. He has his 2 bases. Now he can join up. Now he can saturate his gases. This initial build from INexorable had to do more damage. It wasn't necessarily designed to kill, don't get me wrong. Like, 2-Rax Marine doesn't usually kill the Zerg player, but usually does at least trade and takes down drones. You can see here not a single worker has gone down. Only 2 Lings. That's crazy. 2 Lings for 2 Marines and 2 SCVs. And with that, Erik, he defends, he holds, he's in a beautiful position, and INexorable now is transitioning. He's transitioning back at home. CC on the low ground, Factory on the high ground. He's trying to macro out of this, but alas, the pressure is now on the Terran to bounce back. The Terran is behind. 3rd hatchery now on the way. Erik building up. Is building up. We have link speed on the way. Just saw in the chat. Erik, he's in dark. Ah, no. Not like this. You're an animal. You're all animals. That's what you settle in. So far, Erik just spreading his creep, maintaining his bases, getting his 3rd. Likewise, INexorable double expanding, going for his 3rd CC in the main. 3rd CC into a 3-1-1 setup. That is 2 more Raxes on the way, not a starport. So INexorable is going for a very delayed starport here, focusing on building up his Marines, getting into stim, trying to catch up. This does mean, though, that INexorable is stuck at home. He's going to be stuck at home for the near future. And Erik, he has plenty of time to drone. He has plenty of time to just drone up to macro, to saturate. Gases are being taken. Roach Warren's almost done. I mean, it's Erik, so again, he likes his roaches. Is investing into link speed, so it looks like Roach is going to be more of a supportive unit here for Erik. Hellions, they poke in. Force back. gets across the map. The lair was actually started very quickly for Erik. It is scanned. INexorable does confirm. Erik is taking his gases, getting to Evo chambers. Roaches are amassing, still joining up and saturating his third. And it's going to be all about this stim timing. Stim is halfway done. So the medevacs. Once the medevacs arrive, once stim is done, INexorable can move out. He will soon move out, and we'll see how much damage he can get done. It's going to be all on Erik to survive. Now, we can see here that Erik, he is investing into plus on melee, not plus on range. So, once again, as we did mention, these roaches are more supportive more than anything. I imagine they're all going to be morphed into Ravager, so it's going to be Lingbane Ravager for Erik. And we'll see if he can maintain himself. As so far, he's droned up well. We should be seeing a 4th expansion soon for Larva. And here comes the move out. INexorable does boost across the map. 3rd base on location. Splitting up his bio. Erik once again rushing into the infestation pit. Now, I imagine once again this should be for a safety infestors. But we'll see if Erik does cut more corners. You could argue that he can because of the lead that he has, but it's risky. It is risky here. As INexorable is being active. Erik's trying to keep up. Baneling Nest on the way. Remember, the Baneling Nest was delayed in favor of the Roaches. The Roaches, they do shut down the drop. They force it back. INexorable forced away. Erik, he's rushing into the hive. No investors. Just rushing into the hive instead. Clearing up those rooks. Getting that 4th. And should soon be focusing on that Lingbane. He's getting there. Sending back the army. So far has gotten away without the infestors. I mean, thankfully there was no dedicated move out from INexorable, just drop play. Oh, and Erik is keeping up. And picks up 2 more Marines. Marine count is getting low. Here we go. Here come those investors. 2 of them. So if INexorable does move out, so there are going to be 2 fungals available. Erik is gearing up. Ling production has now begun. Erik, he's on 3 base saturation. 68 drones, all 6 gases. Taking a 7th gas as well. And yeah, here come the Ravagers and Banelings. Now he's refining his army. He deflected the drops, and now he's looking to max out. Now, last game, this did lead into 2-2 and Hydra into Lurker. True. Did lead into Lurker tech. I should also emphasize that here on Abyssal Reef, it is far easier to defend and secure yourself on 4 and 5 bases. See if INexorable can get there. I'll pick up. Does avoid the Banelings. Vipers are now on the way. 3 Vipers for Erik. There's that Hydra and same build. Same build here from Erik. Going initially into Infestors, then into Hydras, then we'll transition into Hydra Lurker tech. He's getting there. Is almost there. Meanwhile, INexorable has been keeping his main army back at home. He's been only moving out with drop play. And he's been okay when it comes to his drops. Hasn't lost too much. But he also hasn't achieved too much either. So far, Erik, he is keeping up. Marines, they throw this in. Nice target firing. They get 1 Baneling. One Baneling goes down. 4th base getting up and running for INexorable. Morphing in that Planetary. Planetary's on the way. Nidus Worm for Erik. Taking into Lurkers. As Erik is maxed. Oh. The Miles! No! Oh my god. 2 medevacs get sniped. Aye, aye, aye. INexorable, inattentive. Cole with his pants down. And Erik, he's pulling the trigger. Again, he's maxed out. He's going for the dive. Catches out the Marines. INexorable coming in from behind. Has his own drop. Gets spotted by Erik. Erik, he races back home. Oh, lands a fungal. Oh, the chain fungal even. Marines get shut down. Scan into the main reveals the tech of choice. The Vipers, the Hive, Lurkers, and Hydras. Tech is confirmed, but doesn't matter. Erik going for a run right towards the third base. But so far, this is what we spoke about. This setup here is so defendable. INexorable, he's secure on 4 bases. I mean, he's fully walled up. Tanks, Liberators as well. And INexorable should soon be able to expand and take the 5th. I mean, this is the big feature of this map of Abyssal Reef. It is very difficult to break a turtling Terran player like this. Not impossible, though. That's what the Vipers are for. There might be these entrenched siege lines, but the Vipers, they can make short work of that with abductions or with Blinding Cloud. Can't go for either. Erik needs to trade, though. INexorable is almost maxed. INexorable is catching up. Erik moving in. Goes to the Blinding Clouds. He gets 1, he gets 2. It does cover the Planetary. Planetary does fall. Not a bad pickup. Brings down the base, but Erik, he doesn't get the workers. And the 4th base is being replaced. Erik behind this, he backs off. He's going to be building up his lurker counts. Overseers are denied. And remember, the kill move for Erik is going to be the Nidus Roam into the main. Speaking of, the Nidus is done. Roach is going to be filing in. Interesting. Roach is in the Nidus. Ghosts, they get eyes on the Overseer. Again, INexorable, he knows that the one thing that he's vulnerable to is Nidus play. Like, this 4th base is not going to be broken anytime soon. Like, again, we have Liberation, we have SimCity, turrets, planetaries, tanks. Like, this location, it's going to be so difficult to break. Nidus Worm could catch him off guard. So, INexorable is trying to be aware of that. Yoink's coming in on the tanks, on the Liberators as well. Oh, but Liberators, one of them does go down. Nice snipe here on the Viper. One Viper falls. Meanwhile, the Lurkers, they do outrange the tanks. 11 SCVs go down. The Vials! Oh my god. Liberator stack and Erik, very nice control. Takes down the Libs, the tanks, catches the Vials. I should say INexorable catches the Vials. Nice from into the main. INexorable, is he distracted? Ooh, no reaction. No reaction by INexorable. Yeah, the Nidus Storm, it looks like it will finish in the main, and the Roaches will file out. Remember, that's where all the Roaches were. Roaches, they bust into the main base. SCV is going to be falling. Production under fire. Oh, nice snipe on the Vipers. Oh, never mind. Vipers, they barely hold on. They get another tank. Roaches picking up starports in the main. Delaying Liberator production. And these Roaches are all going to go down, but remember, Erik, he wants to get rid of them. They're dead supply. They're inefficient supply even. As they snipe a Ghost. The final Roaches go down. And Erik, he reinforces with purely Lingbane Hydra. No more Roaches. And the time for Roach has come and gone. Do you see INexorable going for some Ghost Harass? Liberator as well. Erik, he does rotate. This time there's no planetary. But there's that low ground expansion. Bailings are heading on over. They're going for the planetary itself. They will barely bring it down. Ooh, just barely. Planetary falls. Fungal on the Ghost. Ghost goes down. Nice pickups. Very clutch Fungal. Roach Hydra rotating over towards the low ground. And INexorable has been broken. The supplies are still very close. But the bases are going down. Erik rotating over. Going for another Yoink. Gets another 2 tanks. And what's that final tank? Does get one more. A massive, oh my, the Fungals! Fuggles, they connect. Alas, it's barely not enough of a ground army, though. Yeah, Erik is being overwhelmed. He has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull out, has to pull away. Did stick around too long. Erik needs a moment here to remax. 44 lings in production, burning through most of his gas. Sorry, most of his larvae, I should say. He dives in, takes down the CC. He's holding on to that fungal. Oh! Doesn't quite connect. Nice moves out of INexorable. He pulls away in time. And again, Erik, he doesn't have to commit. He just killed 2 bases. He just sniped the 5th and the 4th. INexorable floating over, attempting to re-expand. Likewise, Erik doesn't have the largest drone count either, but rebuilding more lurkers, Ling Hydra, Viper. Again, INexorable is still holding on. Double expanding. Once again, Erik abusing this location, abusing the 5th base. Lurker shots going up. Nidus roam into the main. The Nidus is gonna finish. Uh-oh. That should not have happened. The Lurkers, they just file in. And we're going for the kill move. Lurkers, they bust into the main. Likewise, Ling Hydra towards the 4th. Diving on the army. Liberator goes down. Tank as well. Not the cleanest trade here from Erik, but he should reset the tank count, and GG gets called. Erik, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very nice early game defense out of Erik. He shut down the initial proxy 2 racks. Likewise, in the mid game was able to embrace, or really able to settle in, able to keep up with all the drop play of his opponent with mainly roaches, and it was able to get away with taking up so quickly into Hive Tech, into Vipers, into eventually Lurkers as well. And again, it was on Erik to try to pull his opponent apart, was able to get the Lurkers in position behind the mineral line. Nidus runs multiple times into the main with roaches, with Lurkers as well towards the end. Just pulling INexorable apart, and in the end, did take it. GG. GG, well played. Erik, he will claim the series, and Erik will advance on to the grand finals, where he has his opponents ready and waiting. Ooh, it's going to be a best of 5 between Erik and Master. It's what we expected, in a way. Like, INexorable did defeat Erik last time in Code for Giants Cup 16, but Erik, he gets his revenge, and Master is a worthy opponent. Master is the best Protoss player in all of Latino America, and we have seen Master defeat Erik before, so I feel like this is going to be a close one. It's going to be a clutch one as well. Best of luck to both Erik and Master as we get ready for the finals. GG. GG, well played. Again, a very intense ZvT between Erik and INexorable. Again, really interesting play as well from Erik, going for the same style 2 games in a row. Very interesting. It's very methodical as well. You know, Erik, he always only gets 2 Infestors initially after the Hive. He always, once the Hive is done, goes into 3 Vipers as well. Like, it's very clinical, very methodical with how he does approach things. And he does approach things his own way as well. Does it his own way. For now, though, we're going to be going on a short break. Vetoes are underway, so the players, they need time. They need time to conduct their vetoes, and once they're done, we'll be jumping into the final series of the morning, into that best of 5. We'll see you guys after the break. See you soon, Papi. See you soon.